Alright, guys, I'm back with another chapter in Numbers. We're in Numbers chapter 18, where the header reads Duties of Priests and Levites. And we'll get right into it. Then the Lord said to Aaron, You, your sons, and your relatives from the tribe of Levi will be held responsible for any offenses related to the sanctuary, but you and your sons alone will be held responsible for violations connected with the priesthood. Bring your relatives of the tribe of Levi, your ancestral tribe, to assist you and your sons as you perform the sacred duties in front of the tabernacle of the covenant. But as the Levites go out and about all to do all their assigned duties at the tabernacle, they must be careful not to go near any of the sacred objects or the altar. If they do, both you and they will die. The Levites must join you in fulfilling their responsibilities for the care and maintenance of the tabernacle, but no unauthorized person may assist you. You yourselves must perform the sacred duties inside the sanctuary and at the altar. If you follow these instructions, the Lord's anger will never again blaze against the people of Israel. I myself have chosen your fellow Levites from among the Israelites to be your special assistants. They are a gift to you, dedicated to the Lord for service in the tabernacle. But you and your sons, the priests, must personally handle all the priestly rituals associated with the altar and with everything behind the inner curtain. I'm giving you the priesthood as your special privilege of service. Any unauthorized person who comes too near the sanctuary will be put to death. The Lord gave these further instructions to Aaron. I myself have put you in charge of all the holy offerings that are brought to me by the people of Israel. I have given all these consecrated offerings to you and your sons as your permanent share. You are allotted the portion of the most holy offerings that is not burned on the fire. This portion of all the most holy offerings, including the grain offerings, sin offerings, and guilt offerings, will be most holy, and it belongs to you and your sons. You must eat it as a most holy offering. All the males may eat of it, and you must treat it as most holy. All the sacred offerings and official offerings presented to me when the Israelites lift them up before the altar also belong to you. I have given them to you and to your sons and daughters as your permanent share. Any member of your family who is ceremonially clean may eat of these offerings. I also give you the harvest gifts brought by the people as offerings to the Lord, the best of the olive oil, new wine, and grain. All the first crops of their land that the people present to the Lord belong to you. Any member of your family who is ceremonially clean may eat this food. Everything in Israel that is specially set apart for the Lord also belongs to you. The firstborn of every mother, whether human or animal, that is offered to the Lord will be yours, but you must always redeem your firstborn sons and the firstborn of ceremonially unclean animals. Redeem them when they are 1 month old. The redemption price is 5 pieces of silver, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel, which equals 20 gerahs. However, you may not redeem the firstborn of cattle, sheep, or goats. They are holy and have been set apart for the Lord. Sprinkle their blood on the altar and burn their fat as a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. The meat of these animals will be yours, just like the breast and right thigh that are presented by lifting them up as a special offering before the altar. Yes, I am giving you all these holy offerings that the people of Israel bring to the Lord. They are for you and your sons and daughters to be eaten as your permanent share. This is an eternal and unbreakable covenant between the Lord and you, and this also applies to your descendants. And the Lord said to Aaron, You priests will receive no allotment of land or share of property among the people of Israel. I am your share and your allotment. As for the tribe of Levi, your relatives, I will compensate them for their service in the tabernacle. Instead of an allotment of land, I will give them the tithes from the entire land of Israel. From now on, no Israelites except priests and Levites, or Levites, may approach the tabernacle. If they come too near, they will be judged guilty and will die. Only the Levites may serve at the tabernacle, and they will be held responsible for any offenses against it. This is permanent This is a permanent law for you, to be observed from generation to generation. The Levites will receive no allotment of land among the Israelites, because I have given them the Israelites' tithes, which has been presented as sacred offerings to the Lord. This will be the Levites' share. That is why I said they would receive no allotment of land among the Israelites. The Lord also told Moses, "Give these instructions to the Levites. When you receive from the people of Israel the tithes I have assigned as your allotment, give a tenth of the tithes you receive, a tithe of the tithe, to the Lord as a sacred offering. The Lord will consider this offering to be your harvest offering, as though it were the first grain from your own threshing floor, or wine from your own winepress. You must present 1/10 of the tithe received from the Israelites as a sacred offering to the Lord. This is the Lord's sacred portion, and you must present it to Aaron the priest. Be sure to give the Lord the best portions of the gifts given to you. Also give these instructions to the Levites. When you present the best part as your offering, it will be considered as though it came from your own threshing floor or winepress. You Levites and your families may eat this food anywhere you wish, for it is your compensation for serving in the tabernacle. You will not be considered guilty for accepting the Lord's tithes if you give the best portion to the priests. But be careful not to treat the holy gifts of the people of Israel as though they were common. If you do, you will die." And that's the end of chapter 18. And so, the one that has me kind of spinning around in my head is the fact that men could be punished. And again, this comes down to the brother's keeper aspect, but the priest could be punished if the Levites, was it making sure that I have the people correct? Support for the priests and Levites. So if the Levites were, we'll say, misbehaving or weren't behaving appropriately in there, everybody associated with that would be punished. So that's very humbling. I couldn't imagine being in a position, and I guess you could make an argument that soldiers kind of have some aspect, but I have no hardship deployments in combat zones, but you very much can be at the will of somebody else's poor choices in those circumstances. And I guess you could make the argument that soldiers understand that, which is why there's such a brotherhood there, realizing that, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so that very much is experienced here in the Israelite family, the hierarchy as far as who serves in the tabernacle. If someone makes a mistake, there's going to be more than that someone that is punished. And that's a very sobering fact. I don't know if there's too many people in any profession, outside of the one that I mentioned, and maybe some first responders, firefighters, people that are used to being in emergency situations, knowing that their lives might depend on their brothers and sisters that they are serving with. And so this very much aligns with that. But that also makes sense that that's how, when you reach a specific age, it is an age of service. When they took a census, it was, they did soldiers, and this is that they were forming their military. They set these guys specifically aside. They are simply, as far as I'm concerned, soldiers that were assigned to this duty. And so I guess that kind of brings it in a better light to me. I never really thought about it like that until just making that connection. So I guess in that sense, I don't know. I don't want to simplify it, but just make sure you serve well and serve honorably and keep loving. And it doesn't matter if you lose your life in service to that. It's an honorable way to go. I was in service to my Lord, and someone else might have made a mistake. Maybe that someone else was under my under my leadership, or should have been under my care, or I should have been more vigilant. Whatever that means, as long as you're in service to God, say it's going to be all right. Say the wages of sin is death. I'm an imperfect man, so death is the way. That's the end for me. I understand that, but that's not where it ends for me. If that makes sense, written in the book of life, when I pass from this place, I go to be with my Father. I don't need to be afraid of that. And so, I don't know. Kind of doesn't sound so bad now when I put it like that. At least not to me anyway. On that note, have a good night. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll be back for Numbers chapter 19, where the header reads, The Water of Purification. Have a good night and God bless, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.